Man, wild,
It's
right?
crazy. Time flies. She'll be a month old in no time. It's just every day. I mean, she's filling up and she's just growing and getting bigger already. It's so fun.
Oh, well,
But I'm excited to be talking to you guys tonight. I'm not gonna lie. I'm feeling. I text Sean and Michelle and Marisa. I'm feeling a little fiery
he
this
did.
evening. I'm feeling a little fiery. I had a long call before this for about an hour, and it just. You ever have one of those calls that just jack you up and
Yeah.
just get you kind of like already talking about what you know you're going to be talking about later, but it just kind of fills you with all that excitement?
Yes.
And so, Sean, Michelle, I'm going to turn it back over to you guys, but I want you guys, just for everyone that's getting on, and Marisa, whoever's going to be leading this off, my goal for tonight, for everyone that's on, is that number one, that this is a safe place. That this, I know they already know this in your team, but to reiterate that this is a safe place of transparency. That tonight I could very well pull a couple people off of mute and have a little conversation with some people. So be open and willing to be doing that if I should do so. And then grab a notepad and a pen, because there's a lot of things that I think are going to be worth writing down. Yeah, if not now, then when is going to be the topic of our discussion this evening.
If not now, then when? I love it. I love it. Well, first of all, Taylor, I just want to thank you with having that new baby. I mean, Taylor is always there to serve you guys. He is always there to serve. And we just love you. And we are so, so grateful. And Marisa, are you there? I would love for you to start this party out, sister.
You're right.
I was just getting my notepad.
She's a great listener, Taylor. Look at that.
I know she is. I know it. This is all her doing. This is all.
I have too many green tomatoes. Oh, I have tomatoes too, but they're in bags with an apple, and I still have.
Here, I'm gonna mute everybody and then I'll unmute you.
With an apple?
We'll be right back.
All right, let's go. Let's see here. Man, this is good stuff. We got so many people.
There you go.
There it is.
Okay.
Maybe. Unmute.
There we go.
We got you. We got you.
Sorry. And I was grabbing my chicken that I've been trying to cook, chicken marsala, for 3 nights. I haven't been able to have the time. So anyway, nice to see everybody. Taylor, thank you so much. So I think everybody's been trying to touch base with Taylor. And of course, he's helping Isa this week with somebody very much of an influencer. So we're excited. And I reached out to him. And then of course, Taylor is just so, he's so much a part of us, like, and wanting to help us and serve us. And, you know, for those of you who don't know Taylor Worre, he is head of our, I don't think I have the right verbiage of the title, but he's head of our red carpet event, but really distributor experience and development in just nurturing us and helping us become bigger and better and getting out of our own way. And so I asked him to speak on our team call to just talk about, you know, global and the vision. And then of course, I think Michelle and Michelle Voris had you. And so it just like, let's just do one-stop shopping here. So everybody can be blessed, and because we want to pack the houses. So with that, you know, Taylor is just such a gift to us here in LifeVantage. He's paving his own legacy with this company. Many of you know his father, of course, but you know, Taylor is his own person, in his own leadership, and I just respect him so much. And I would say, hang on to each and every word that this fine young man has to say tonight, and really help you envision a global that is just not about sitting at home, but a global that is really activated. So take it away.
I love it. And Marisa, I want to start by saying that this is all happening because of you reaching out, because of your leadership, because of the culture that you create throughout your team. And then I just love the family atmosphere of LifeVantage, that the pose, that all these other people from different lines and different organizations are a part of this call. And that is what we are all about, is just lifting up everyone around us. And with that, it's an honor to be chatting with every one of you this evening. Like I said at the beginning, my goal is to create and for this to be, which I already know it is, but to reiterate that this is a safe place, that we're going to talk about some stuff that one thing I don't talk about much is like the tips and the tricks and all the success habits and all this stuff. We'll talk about that throughout. But the reality is what I want to talk about is the hard stuff. What I want to talk about, the stuff that scares you, the stuff that you're afraid of. Because going into this global convention, we got to think much farther than that. You got to think about right now, we have to be thinking about 2021. And what we need to think of global convention as is basically a launch pad into 2021. And what kind of launch pad do we want to have going into the new year? I mean, do we want to just kind of pace and walk into the new year? Or do we want to be, shot like a rocket into the new year? That is kind of the whole, because this is what I get to you guys. This is what I talk with. I mean, thousands of people I have talked to about this. I have watched so many people live the same life, the same year over and over and over again. 2016 looked exactly like 2017. And while there was a little bit of growth, nothing really changed. Maybe you read some books, felt a little bit better, maybe you got a little bit of a raise. But what I'm talking about is that change in your body that you can fundamentally and physically look back at a year and say, this was the year that I stopped playing small. This was the year that I decided that I was going to be in control of my life. That my boss wasn't going to control it, my spouse wasn't going to control it, my children weren't going to control it, my friends weren't going to control it, that I was going to be in control of my life. The last 6 months, I've done a really in-depth kind of case study where I've done thousands of different calls, or a bunch of different calls with thousands of different distributors. And what I've asked every one of them is I've said, I want you to give me your number one limiting belief. What is the number one excuse that you have right now in your business? What is the number one thing that's holding you back? That if I was a magic genie and I could come into your life and remove it, you would be able to move a lot faster. So I want you guys to think about that right now. What is the number one thing holding you back? Is it not having enough people to talk to? Is it fear of rejection? I see a lot of people saying fear. Fear of what? What are you afraid of? That's what I want to know. This is where I say transparency. And drop it in the chat. I'm reading what you guys are saying. But I want to know what you're afraid of. And then I want you to go in the chat and look at what everyone else is saying. And realize that you are not alone in your fears. I found over the last 6 months that the majority of people, 95% of people I talked to, shared pretty much the exact same fears. Look at all these coming in. Relationships getting spoiled. Fear of not knowing enough people. Fear of rejection. You'll see a lot of common threads in these fears. Go read these right now. Go into the chat. Take a minute. Go into the chat. If you haven't shared one of your fears or your excuses, this is a powerful, powerful exercise, because what everyone that is reading these right now and everyone that's honest enough to share is you guys are realizing that you're not alone. That for a long time, you might have been feeling like your fear is a singular fear that only you feel. We're all in this together. My own expectations of myself, fear of failing. Let me say this. I've seen fear of failing a few times now. Failure, fear of failure. I mean, we always say this. Fear is simply a misunderstanding of the unknown. That's all that fear is. Understanding that failure in the way that you think of it is actually not failure. It's actually success. If you could change your thinking to realize. Because fear of failure is a very introverted, not introvert, a very internal fear. It's all about you. Let's go back to why we joined this business. What is network marketing? Network marketing is one of the most beautiful forms of entrepreneurship on the planet, because you are only paid for the value that you bring to the space. You're not paid for the time. You're not paid for the energy. You're not paid for the phone calls. You're not paid for the Facebook friend request, the dead scroll on Facebook. You're not paid for any of it. Network marketing doesn't care how much you do any of that. What they care is directly down to the cent. You will be paid for the value that you bring to the space. A lot of people, in my opinion, put the cart before the horse when it comes to network marketing and it comes to relationships, because I always say we are two things as network marketing professionals. We're professional relationship builders. You have to be really, really good at making friends at network marketing and network marketing. You have to be just a good friend. And number two is you must be a professional door opener. You must be willing to open a door to an opportunity when the time is right without caring about the outcome. Most of you fear rejection because you are associated, you are attached to the outcome. I mean, it's for the people that are afraid of fear of rejection. I've given this all the time. You guys have probably heard me say it. But for those that haven't, you want a fun challenge the next 90 days. For those of you that are fear of rejection, your goal in the next 90 days is to get 100 people to say no to your opportunity. It's called the 100 No Challenge. Go out and get 100 people to say no. That's your only goal. But the only caveat to that is they have to look at the full opportunity. Shake that out of your system. The most successful network marketers on the planet have heard no more times than you could ever imagine. It doesn't bother them. It doesn't affect them because they are steadfast and they believe what it is that they do. Most of the time people are saying no, and this is a harsh reality, but most of the time people are saying no to taking a look at your opportunity because you haven't put enough value into the relationship yet. That's what I mean, putting the cart before the horse. A lot of people do that. Now, we are 16 days, 15, 16, 17 days away from International Convention. I'm going to tell you right now that I believe, I've been listening to a lot of calls. This is coming from someone on the inside. I'm not going to share anything that's going to get me fired or in trouble. I know you guys want me to, but I'm not going to share any of that, those juicy details. I'm going to keep them a surprise for a couple more weeks. But I've been doing a lot of calls and I've been hearing a lot of people say, you need to get your ticket for convention. You need to be at convention. You need to get your ticket for convention. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're on this call and you're not, being at convention, in my opinion, isn't really an option. It's not really a choice. If you take this serious, if you care about this business, and more importantly, if you care about the people that you want to impact in this world, you need to be armed with the tools necessary to do so. The only place you get the most updated tools, the most updated information, the most positive and uplifting training you're going to get is by attending our conventions. And for the first time in company history, you have the ability to not have to spend $5,000 on airfare, hotel, meals, all the other rigmarole that you would spend down in Las Vegas. You get to do it from the comfort of your own home. And not only are they doing that, they're giving you 2 guest passes for free. So this is what I'm saying to everyone I talk to, knowing what I know. If you don't have, in my opinion, if you don't have at least 10 people in your house with you watching this convention for 2 days, I think that you're missing out. This is what I'm telling everyone. If you can get them to register and get tickets and all that stuff, great. But if you want to take your business to the next level, what I would say is, number one, we do unbelievable opportunity meetings every single Saturday. I would turn every Saturday up until convention into your team's opportunity meeting. I would say this is what we are using to get ready for convention. Your brand new people need to be on here so that they can be educated properly. All your prospects need to be on here. Even if they're not signed up yet, get them on an opportunity meeting so they can understand it, so that when they come over to your house to have your potluck, hang out and watch convention for a day and have your fun little party at your house, they have an understanding of what they're looking at. We are entering into some pretty special times, in a pretty special place as a company. I believe that 2021 is going to be a year that, I mean, every year for the last few years, we've been looking at unbelievable growth years. And everyone's been saying how it's great. You know, everyone's showing in the green every month and having great success. But I want to see real momentum. Real momentum is $50 to $100 million growth years. Real momentum is the name LifeVantage is becoming commonplace in houses all around the United States and all around the world without them really knowing what it means. They just know the name. I think that LifeVantage is going to genuinely take this biohacking industry by storm over the next 12 to 24 months. I think that with our current executive leadership paired with Dr. Brian Dixon and what he plans to bring to the table, I mean, if you knew what I knew, you being at convention just wouldn't be enough. It just wouldn't be, because there's going to be things that are going to come to light, that you are going to find out about, things that are going to be things I've been waiting for years. I'm so excited about. They are coming, and they are going to be made available first to those that are going to be attending and watching that international convention. Listen to me when I tell you this. I think that, you know, my father would always say it takes 10,000 hours to call yourself a professional at anything. 10,000 hours. I think that most of you on this call are in the middle of putting in your 10,000 hours right now. You're putting in your time. You're not there yet, but you're putting in your time. What I want you guys to understand, and I really want you to understand this, is that by attending this convention, you have the ability to 3, 4, or possibly 5x the hours that you would be investing into personal development time that you can put forth towards your business. The 8 to 16 hours that you're going to put into convention could be well equated into almost 100 hours worth of personal development by the time you're done taking it in. The fact that you have 30 days to replay this event and watch it again, excuse me, what I want you to know is that there's just a true sense of excitement that I haven't felt in a really, really long time. I'm blessed to be behind the scenes, but I'm also blessed to talk to people and distributors like you guys every single day. And so just know that if you're willing in the next 3 weeks to shed all of your limiting beliefs, shed all of your excuses, fear of rejection, let it go. The world is not being served by you being fearful. The world is not being made the place that you were put on this planet to impact. The world is not getting there by you being in fear. I don't care if it's fear of rejection or not knowing enough people or fear of diluting or hurting your network. Do you know how you don't hurt your network or your friends and family? Is you go to them and you say, let me find someone right now. Oh, Kathy, how are you? Kathy Inkley. It's so good to see you. I always mess up your last name, Enking. But it's so good to see you. If I call Kathy, she's a friend of mine and I don't want to burn out a relationship. Kathy, honestly, I need you to know before we start talking, that this is a really, honestly, really exciting business opportunity. I'm fired up more so than I've ever been before. Yes, no, or indifferent doesn't matter to me, but I genuinely have like 10, 15 minutes and I want to block you out to share it with you. If you've got time, let's get on the phone and do it. If you don't, no problem at all. I got a lot of calls to make. Just start getting in the habit of making that call over and over and over again. When they say, what is it? We'll talk about it in the meeting. The number one mistake that network marketers make is when someone asks them for more information, they immediately just, it's like they were waiting for, and the floodgates open and they just want to throw up all over everyone and just, oh my gosh, let me tell you everything. Oxidative stress, nutrigenomics, biohacking, NRF2 pathways. Like, let me tell you, I mean, you were working at the car dealership in their mind last week, and now you're basically a nutrigenomics scientist that's trying to explain oxidative stress to them. I heard an amazing, amazing thing the other day. And it said, allow yourself, I'm trying to remember what call it was on. It might have been Sean and Michelle. I think it was Sean Poe that said it. It was Sean Poe that said it. So you guys probably hear this all the time. But he said, find a way to become the messenger, not the message. Let that soak in for a minute. Find a way in everything that you do to become the messenger and not the message. We rely in network marketing on third-party validation, and the reality is you have 11 years worth of validation here at LifeVantage. You have stronger validation, more clinical proof, more scientific proof than any other network marketing company in our space. Over 30 published medical studies on PubMed.gov, validated by Harvard, by Penn State, by the National Institute of Aging in North America. 9 patents, 7 domestic and 2 international. What do you have to be afraid of? The only thing that you have to be afraid of is getting in your own way. So if the next 3 weeks, you can find a way to stack your schedule like you've never stacked it before, find people that can get in there for you and validate you, whether it's an upline, a sideline, a cross line. There is hundreds of people on here right now that I know you could go through that chat and find someone that's dealing with a similar fear than you, or that you have, message them privately and say, would you be my workout buddy? When I have 3-way calls, I can call you. And when you have 3-way calls, you can call me. We're dealing with the same stuff. Let's push each other. Go find a workout partner that you can lock arms with. They don't need to be in your organization, and they darn sure don't need to be in your downline. Sometimes the strongest workout partner you're going to have is someone that might even be in a different company than you. Someone that's not going to take your excuses. Someone's going to say, I don't care if your kids got sick. You said you were going to call 20 people today. Go get on the phone and do it. Someone that's going to push you. Make the next 3 weeks your best 3 weeks. I want you to step out of your comfort zone. Tony Robbins, you've heard it before, gave me the best advice I've ever gotten in my entire life. He said, Taylor, if you are willing to trade your expectations for appreciation, your entire life will change overnight. You've heard me say this, but 99% of this planet lives 99% of their existence built in expectation. What a falsity when 99% of expectations are never met in reality. We are programmed from a very early age to live in consistent expectation when we are consistently let down with those expectations. Why not instead choose to live in appreciation? Why not instead choose to accept that we are the messenger of a beautiful message? That message and what people, how they respond to that message is not a direct reflection of us. My father would always say there's only one catch to network marketing, only one, and you have to be willing to accept it. One. And the number one catch to network marketing is you must be willing to accept a temporary loss. Keyword temporary. You must be willing to accept a temporary loss of social esteem from ignorant people. There are going to be people out there that are not going to understand what it is that we do. There are going to be people out there that are going to look down on you for what it is that you're trying to do. Make a better life for yourself and bring value to others, either if it's through their well-being or financially, health-wise or financially. There are going to be people that are going to make fun of you. But you know what's really funny is I've spent my whole life surrounded by $1 million earners. And you know what's really funny is watching all the people that talked so poorly about those people when they were getting started, begging them, not only begging them to be a part of their organization, but blaming them for not coming to them in the beginning. Why didn't you call me? You're at this $1 million earners by now. You never called me and never told me. What the world? So just know that it's a temporary loss, that these losses are not for forever. And when you can accept a temporary loss, you can also relinquish a lot of the fear, because a lot of people fear that fear or that loss is permanent. And it's not, that you're going to be looked down upon for forever. That is not the case. I want every one of you, if you want, this is a challenge. And all I want you to do is type in the chat, I'm in, if you're in. I want every one of you to think about accepting this. Look at, I love Cody already said I'm in. It's so awesome. I want you to accept to have 10 people, new people starting today that have never heard, they might have heard of LifeVantage, but they've never seen an opportunity meeting before. Commit to 10 new people being at International Convention with you. 10. You're going to have to do a lot of calls in the next 21 days. You're going to have to step out of your comfort zone. It's going to start with you making a list tonight of probably 100 names. The rest of this week, setting up appointments. All next week, running through appointments, finding third-party validation. It's going to take you saying yes, telling the world like you are right now, and then going and figuring it out. Because I promise you, for every one of you that's saying yes right now, tomorrow morning, the universe is going to test you. Universe is going to throw something in your path. The universe is going to knock you off course. And decide, you're going to have to decide if you really are all in or not. You're going to have to decide if you are the rock in the river, or if you're going to say, you know what, I'll get 1 or 2 and I'm going to start a week from now. I'm not going to be able to do 10 because you know what, my husband just lost his job. And you know what, we got to focus on other stuff. Or, you know what, my kids just got sick and I got to focus on that. Or, you know what, I had something else come up. The universe is going to test you. What you do over the next 21 days will decide if the universe is going to open up or if it's going to continue to teach you the same lesson that you've been being beaten over for as long as you've been dealing with it. I, for one, 3 years ago, when I had that conversation with Tony Robbins, had been living the same year for 5 years in a row, doing all the personal development, doing all the stuff, doing all the books, attending all the events. There was not a person that could look at me and say, oh, he's not developed, he's not working on himself. But I was literally stuck in a rut, living the exact same, because I was filled with expectation. Everything that I did had an expectation attached to it. With my child, with my spouse, with my work, with my friends, with my everything. Driving down the road, hitting traffic, wanting to get somewhere faster. I had an expectation I was going to be there on time. I was angry. Everything would mess me up. I can genuinely tell you guys with emphatic clarity right now that 3 years later, I am genuinely untouchable. At 33 years old, I can say that I am untouchable. That there is not a person on this planet that can hurt me. You can't knock me down. You can't knock me off a goal. You can't tell me what I'm doing is stupid and expect it to affect me. I am so resolute in what it is that I am doing. I am so steadfast in knowing that LifeVantage is the #1 network marketing company in the #1 form of entrepreneurship on the planet. It is like a law for me. There is no changing it. You want to come tell me I'm crazy? Go ahead, try. You want to refute me with facts? I'll go to the mat with any single person on this planet any day of the week, and I will win any day. My hope is that those of you on this call that are suffering from a lack of that passion, that you will take mine. Take mine just for a minute. Do you know how I have this? 30 minutes of personal development every morning, 30 minutes of personal development every single night, and 30 minutes of personal development over my lunch every single day of my life. We are in a digital era where there is more free content, more valuable content at your fingertips than ever before. There is no excuse to not be tapping into personal development every single day. And when you do, you are hard pressed to have a bad day. You are hard pressed to walk through a day with negativity after you start your day with 30 minutes of Les Brown. End your day with 30 minutes of Jim Rohn. I promise you, you're going to wake up in a better mood than if you hadn't. Life is all about choices. And what I want to just encourage and reiterate to everyone on this call is that you have a choice right now. Dr. Elizabeth Olsen, I'm looking at you. You got a choice right now to step out of your comfort zone, to realize that what you've done up to this point has been amazing, that you've impacted a lot of lives. But I know in your heart that if you had to ask yourself honestly, have I been playing in my full potential? Have I been living in my full greatness? The answer to that question would be no. Because I know that it's no for me. I know it's no for everybody. So we need to choose. My mother always said this to me as a kid, and it's one of my favorite things ever. I say it to our children every single day, and I say it to just about everyone I talk to. Life is not, you can have these big lofty goals, and goals are great. Goals are necessary. But my mother would always say, life is all about making 100 right decisions every single day. Every day, you are presented with 100 opportunities to do the right thing or the wrong thing. And many times the wrong thing isn't directly a wrong thing, it's just doing nothing. I want you to look for ways to bring beauty into the lives of anyone that comes in contact with you. I don't care if you walk into a gas station tonight and the person that's checking you out, you just take a minute just to say, you're amazingly appreciated. I hope you know that. I appreciate you. In the job that you're in, you're probably never thanked for the work that you do. I appreciate you doing what you do. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. There's not a person I come in contact with that I don't have that type of interaction with. 100% of my interactions go that way. And what it does is it raises your energy level. It raises your energy vibrational level to the point where you start attracting people of like mind. You guys understand that misery loves company is a phrase for a reason? It's really easy to be negative in today's world. It's really easy to get sucked into the don't you hate it when conversations. Don't you hate it when this happens? Inviting people to be negative with you. Don't you hate it when this happens? Don't you hate it when this happens? You know what Jim Rohn would always say? Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? You invited 50 people to show up to the meeting and no one showed up? Isn't that interesting? You didn't say, don't you hate it when you do that? No one shows up? No. Because that's inviting negativity into your life. And it's also showing the people that you're interacting with that that is what you value, is their negative opinions. I hope that when each and every one of you wake up tomorrow morning, that you wake up with a new sense of purpose. I don't care if you're 25 or you're 75. I don't care how old you are. It doesn't matter. Someone once told me the message that you need to hear might come from a voice that you would never expect to hear it from. And I know that some of you might be older on this call. Who does this 33-year-old know? What does he know about life? What I want to tell you is, all I know is that one simple decision taken seriously and applied consistently can literally, in this profession, not just impact the rest of your life, but it can impact your family for generations to come. The fact that in network marketing, you actually have the ability to soak in enough time, effort, and bring enough value to know that 100 years from now, when you are no longer on this planet, that the world can be blessed by your efforts. Is there anything more beautiful than that? To know that your grandchildren could be blessing this planet 100 years from now, inheriting a business that you started and that you decided to start taking serious tomorrow. I believe in each and every one of you more than you'll know, more than you probably believe in yourselves. Liddell, Blair, I'm looking at you guys right now, and I love seeing you guys so engaged in this conversation and looking back and forth at each other. I want you guys to wake up tomorrow and realize that as a partnership, you guys are stronger than anything on this planet. That when you have each other's back, and that when you learn to speak greatness into others on a daily basis, when you release the expectations of your life every day, and you walk through this life in appreciation, and you do it together. Do you know how much I love seeing you on this call together? Because what I see for both of you is I see him looking at you that exact same way, but I see it 10 years from now. And I'm going to be the one standing behind you guys when you're sitting on the white couches at the front of the stage as Master Pro 10s. I'm going to be the one when he's looking over at you and they call your name to go up on stage to receive your Master Pro 10 recognition. I'm going to be standing right behind you. And I'm literally going to recall this moment of being on this Zoom and looking at her the same way that you just did right there. You're going to look at her, and I know it. You're going to give her that exact same look of love, passion, of excitement, of we did it. We felt it. We knew it. We believed it, and we brought the value. We cared little enough about ourselves and more about everyone else to the point where we were able to do whatever we wanted to do on this planet. I'm excited for that day. And when that day comes, I'm going to give you both the biggest freaking hug you've ever had in your life. We're going to be able to rejoice in a job well done. And at that point, you're going to realize that's when the work's going to begin. That's when the work's going to start. That everything you did up for those 10 years was just leading up to the actual ripples that you will be able to leave on this planet. I know it's hard to picture right now, but to picture tens of thousands of people all over this globe, from Japan to Australia to Europe to Mexico to Canada to the United States, tens of thousands that are going to thank you when they get on stage for their recognition. Because of your courage, because of your tenacity, because of your willingness to not give up, because your willingness to make one more call. You're going to have people that are going to be on stage going, Liddell doesn't even know who I am. I'm 8 generations removed from them. They don't even know who I am. But because they said yes, and someone said yes, and someone else said yes, and someone else said yes, it got to me, and it changed my life for forever. This is why you need to be at convention, ladies and gentlemen. This is why you need to be there. Because if you're feeling anything right now, and if you're not, check your pulse. Because we are on the cusp of exploding. And I want every single one of you to capitalize on it. But like I've said on calls before, the wave of momentum is not reserved for everybody. I wish it was, but it's not. I wish we could just go into momentum and everyone, whether you worked or not, it just happened for you. But this wave of momentum is coming, is reserved. And it's reserved, like I've said, for those that are going to be willing to step outside of their comfort zone, to accept a season of, uncomfortability. Accept a season of no excuses. Accept a season of, man, that day really sucked, but you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to go make even more calls and we're going to make it better. Another thing I want every single person to do on this call, every single one of you, I want you to take a Sharpie, not a Sharpie because it's your hair. I want you to take a white erase marker. I want you to take your wife's mascara, makeup, lipstick, whatever it is. I don't care. And I want you to go into your mirror in your bathroom, every single one of you. And I want you to, on your mirror, write in letters, I am enough. And every single morning, I want you to wake up and I want you to go into the mirror and I want you to say that out loud. I am enough, because you are, just as you are right now. Personal development is always a must and you always must be growing or you're dying, but you are enough just as you are right now. Without another single piece of information, without another single person in your downline, you are enough. You are valuable and you are worthy of everything that you desire in this life. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you guys, genuinely. I really do. My life is predicated on bringing value, and it's all I ever want to do is just to help people realize that I've seen the other side. I've seen what it looks like, and you just got to get out of your own way and you can have it. Marisa, Sean, and Michelle, I'm going to turn it back to you guys, but just thank you so much for having me on. I look forward to seeing you all in person as soon as we can be in person. As always, if I can ever be of value to your life, if there's ever anything I can personally do for you, please never hesitate to reach out to me. My email is as simple as ever, tworre@lifevantage.com. If there's ever anything I can do, please do not hesitate. Don't be the person that says, I don't want to bother you. I am here to serve you. And your success is paramount to me. I appreciate you again more than you know. And I just wish you all the best things in the coming days and months ahead. And I just am excited for all of you that said I'm in. And I look forward to seeing you all at the International Convention. Thanks again for having me on, and God bless every one of you guys. Have a beautiful rest of your night.
Taylor, I think we have a lot of people feeling a lot of incredible emotions now, and we just love you to pieces. And you guys put it in the chat, put it in the Facebook comments. Taylor is in our group and he's right here. Write in the comments you're the thing that stood out the most to you. What did you take away? What was the thing that you're going to always remember and never forget? Because I know that this conversation tonight, Taylor, is one that everybody's going to remember. And it might be that one conversation, right, that literally changed the future. And that's the beauty, is one conversation. And I saw somebody just say that, and you said it, one conversation. So just think of what Taylor did for you all. That's what you can give the gift to another person. And then 10 more because of that, then 25, then hundreds, then thousands. It's what happens, you guys. It's what happens. And so committing to the I am enough, committing to the 10, committing to yourself because you are worthy and you are enough. And you guys, we're going to do this. Let's have some fun. Marisa, anything else you would like to add here tonight? God bless you. Thank you all. Taylor, wrapping you up, man. Yep, go ahead,
I love
Marisa.
you, sister.
Just thank you. This was like golden gifts of nuggets. I'm just like, I want to box all these things up. You said one thing and I couldn't write fast enough. 99% of the planet is built in expectation.
Oh yeah. I always say that. Yeah, 99% of this planet spends about 99% of their existence built in expectation. And I always say what a falsity that is, because 99% of all expectations are never met in reality.
Thank you.
Oh, of course. Amy, it's so good to see that little peanut. I miss the Dippleds. Hi, Princess. Oh, I miss you guys so much. I love seeing everyone on this call. I mean, you guys are all like Kathy. I mean, I've seen Marisa, Cody Van Pruitt, Tanya.
You guys, get
Michelle
your videos
Boyce,
on real quick so he can
everyone.
see
I'm going
everybody
around.
here.
Donna Kim's. You guys, I just love you guys. I mean, Mia, Jillian Fisher. I mean, everyone. Jamie, you guys are just like family to me, for real. Issa, Don, Kay. I mean, I'm just so blessed and highly favored to be surrounded by you guys. Mark Johnson, driving and on. God bless you, man. I know that you and your daughter just had an amazing birthday. Tell her that I love her. If she's on here, happy birthday, Sean. You're amazing. I don't know if she's on right now, but I just love you guys. I just love seeing your faces. I hate that we can't all be together, but you know what? I do love technology because I love being able to just see you guys face to face. Mike and Sheila, it's so good to see you guys. I miss giving you guys hugs at events, but man, this was really great for me. I appreciate this. Filled me up more than you guys know, just to see you guys. And so thank you. And Marisa, thank you for setting this all up. You're so amazing.
She is amazing. Yes, Marisa. All right, everybody, give Miss Marisa big hugs and kisses as well. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. You know what they say? They say LifeVantage keeps you, or what is it? Protan will help you sleep at night, but LifeVantage will keep you awake, right? So let's have some fun. As you're laying there bed at night, have a notepad by your nightstand, because people are going to be popping into your head. Write them down, and then let's get to work. Let's get to work and make a big difference, all right? We love you all. Taylor, your time, your energy. Go love on that baby. Kiss that girl. Send her our love. We are family. Bless you. Thank you. All right, everybody. Cameras on. Let's say goodbye. Hearts. Love you all so much. Have a great
Thank you.
Bye.
yourself and say good night.
Thank
Good night, all.
Thank you, Taylor.
Aw,
Oh, Mark. Hi.
I know. There's Mark. Driving safe. All
Love
right,
you,
Good night,
Michelle,
everyone.
Marisa, all of you.
Thank you.
You guys got some good notes tonight?
Hard to
Good,
say.
good. Awesome. All right. Good night, everybody. I'm going to grab some of this chat because there was some goodness happening in there. Okay. Good night.